The tension between the two sisters grew with each passing day. Long ago, in the village of Nsakyi, two sisters, Amina and Tina, were once as close as morning dew and the first sunbeam. Their laughter flitted through the village like songbirds greeting the dawn. From the moment they could talk, they moved together. When Tina fetched firewood, Amina carried the rope. When Amina washed cassava, Tina rinsed it. If one tripped, the other knelt to dust her off and say, "Don't cry, I'm here." Mama Ajwa and Papa Ni would watch them and smile proudly, saying, "Our daughters share one heart." The sisters had a favorite spot behind their hut, a giant mango tree whose branches spread wide like welcoming arms. Every afternoon, after chores, they would sit beneath it to braid each other's hair with wildflowers, draw patterns in the sand, create stories about magical spirits and brave hunters, sing the lullabies Mama Ajwa taught them. Sometimes children from the village would join them, but everyone knew the bond between Amina and Tina was special. Amina, bold and adventurous, always led their games. "Let's climb the mango tree," she would say. Tina, gentle and thoughtful, followed with a smile, trusting her sister completely. If Amina dared to race to the stream, Tina would run beside her. If Tina found a beautiful pebble or feather, she saved it for Amina. Together, they made warm steam that comforted everyone around them. One night, lying on their shared mat, under the moonlight spilling through the window, Amina whispered, "Promise me we will always be together." Tina held her pinky with her sisters. Always. The moon shone on them like a blessing. Whenever the villagers saw the sisters walking hand in hand in the market, they would chuckle. "Ah, here come the twins of Mama Ajwa." Amina and Tina were inseparable, two halves of one whole. The sisters believed nothing could ever pull them apart. That was before the day everything changed. Before a seed of envy took root. Before silence replaced their laughter. Before the wound neither sister could name began to grow. When Amina was 15 and Tina was 14, the village held an annual ritual called the Blessing of the Ancestors, where children were brought before the old village priest, Nana Kwabena. He would place his hand on each child and speak a blessing, a message said to come from the spirits about that child's future. The entire village gathered in the courtyard that day, Tina and Amina holding hands as they waited for their turn. Amina stepped forward first. She stood tall, proud, expecting the priest to proclaim her future greatness. Nana Kwabena placed his hand on her head, closed his eyes and said, "You will be strong and skilled. Your path will be full of challenges, but your destiny depends on the choices of your heart." People clapped politely, but Amina noticed something. The blessing was ordinary, simple, almost vague. She tried not to show her disappointment. Then Tina stepped forward. The moment the priest laid his hand on Tina's head, a sudden wind swept through the courtyard. Leaves spun in a circle around them, and even the birds went quiet. Nana Kwabena opened his eyes slowly, as if seeing something only the spirit could reveal. His voice carried a weight the village had never heard before. He declared, "This child carries a rare light. She will bring peace where there is trouble. She will touch many hearts, and her name will be spoken with honor." The villagers gasped. Mama Ajwa burst into tears. Papa Ni thanked the ancestors aloud, and that was the moment Amina's heart cracked. The villagers swarmed Tina with praises. "Such a blessing! She is chosen, a child of grace." Amina stood alone, ignored for the first time in her life. Her own blessing already forgotten. She felt something hot rising inside her chest, a sense that Tina had suddenly overshadowed her. Tina looked for her sister in the crowd, wanting to hug her, but she found Ame's eyes cold, distant, unreadable. From that day, Amina carried a shadow inside her heart, a shadow that grew year after year. She never spoke of it, not even to Tina, but the crack became a wound, and the wound became bitterness. One year, the kingdom announced a festival. The young Prince Kojo was searching for a woman of true character. Many girls dressed in shimmering clothes and tried so hard to impress the prince, including Amina, but none shone like Tina. She did not try to impress him. She simply went about her daily activities of helping people. The prince's eyes followed her with quiet admiration. Amina noticed, and jealousy burned deep inside her. The prince chose Tina in the end to be his bride, saying, "A woman whose kindness touches strangers will keep peace in the palace." The village celebrated this union. Amina's jealousy grew like weeds in the rainy season. She pretended to smile, pretended to be happy, but inside her heart a storm raged. One night before Tina was to leave for the palace, Amina came to her. "Let us go to the river to fetch water for Mama Ajwa, one last walk as sisters." Tina, very skeptical but still hoping that her sister had changed, followed her. But Amina had already loosened the old wooden bridge over the river. When Tina stepped onto it, the planks gave way. She plunged into the rushing water. The current pulled her down, swirling her into its cold arms. She struggled for breath. Amina watched from the bank, her face expressionless. But just as Tina's strength faded, a voice boomed through the forest. "Hold on, child." It was Papani, who had followed them after sensing something was wrong. With the strength of a lion, he jumped into the river and dragged Tina to the bank. As Papani warmed Tina by the fire, the river spirit, angered by Amina's wickedness, spoke through the wind that rattled the leaves. The villagers gathered as the wind curled around Amina like a serpent. A voice echoed, "She who pretends sweetness carries the poison that nearly took her sister's life." The truth burst open like a ripe pawpaw. Amina fell on her knees, unable to deny it. All her years of quiet cruelty, her jealousy, her plan to murder her sister, everything was revealed. The villagers gasped. Mama Ajwa cried until her wrapper was soaked in tears. Papani's heart cracked like dry earth. Tina, still weak, whispered, "Amina, why?" But Amina had no answer. Her heart, once filled with love for her sister, had long been swallowed by envy. Amina was sent away from the village to live with an old priestess who helped troubled souls. Whether she found peace, no one knows. Tina healed slowly. She married Prince Kojo, becoming a queen known not for jewels, but for her compassion. And Mama Adwa and Papani visited her often, proud that the village and the kingdom finally saw Tina as she truly was. From that day, elders told the children, "Envy is a silent fire. Feed it and it will burn even family." And the tale of the two sisters lived on, carried by the wind, told beneath moonlit skies, a reminder that true character always reveals itself sooner or later.